Sometimes it's just punishment. Sometimes it's protecting the community. There are a whole host of reasons. But your problem is sometimes when you've done something that is considered so horrendous, right? No matter the changes you've made, sometimes it's just a prison offense. There are a lot of people who do things that I'm sure if they could go back in time, they would have changed it. They would have said, I wouldn't have done it. But the boxing of someone in with your vehicle, and I read the PSI report and I read the stipulations. In the stipulations, the driver of the vehicle said, hey, my son is in the car. And that didn't give anybody pause. I would think that there are certain things that should give people pause. For example, if somebody holds somebody at gunpoint and they want to steal their vehicle, they would say, oh my gosh, shucks, I didn't know there was a child in this car. Let me pause. But they gave nobody pause. Everybody just still continued with what they were going to do. That's a problem for the court. So this is what the court
isn't the problem that she was, no matter what her role was, it was still going to be something that was horrendous because it's a robbery.
Yeah.
So and I'm not trying to argue with the court, but under that circumstance, then no one should be eligible for deferred adjudication.
Well, counsel, as you're aware, there are different types of robbery. And there are some robberies that don't involve a child. State?
Your Honor, so right here, one thing I did notice in the letter from the psychiatrist, something that is bothering me, I've seen it somewhere in here, is that Ms. Johnson, she said she gave them a ride but did not know their intentions, but she played a role in boxing them in. She says that she had never had or handled a gun that night. When the police lit up her car, the boys threatened her if she didn't keep going. One of the boys threatened to shoot her if she stopped. Nowhere is that brought up in the report that she had mentioned that she had said that they had threatened her. So that's just something that is.
Well, I don't think it's her feeling. So it's not going to be in a police report.
Right,
but I can tell you that was her feeling on this. She did feel threatened by these two young juvenile offenders. But we're here today to take responsibility and not make excuses. So that's our answer to that, Judge.
All right. Is there anything else before the court makes its ruling?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to find you guilty, taking consideration 2023 CR 3850, 2023 CR 3849, grand jury number 806632. There's to be restitution of $110 to John Bright in grand jury number 806632. Give you credit for any time served. I'm going to retain jurisdiction. Your attorney will tell you what that means, and I'm going to sentence you to 6 years in the prison. Did you review what it's entitled trial court certification with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. And Mr. Hancock, you can explain to her what that means.
I will, Judge.
Asking that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. Did anyone want to speak to the length of community supervision? State?
Not to the state, we just feel it's appropriate, Your Honor.
Defense?
Judge, I would just ask for it to be 4 years deferred, and I know a fine wasn't listed in there. I would just, I'm stepping ahead a step, but he works as a cook at Pluckers. So he doesn't make all that much money. on asking maybe if the fine can be probated or be relatively low.
Okay. And what is the court cost in this case, please? All right, Mr. Sanchez, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Zachary Sanchez.
All right, so I've just been told by the clerk the court costs in this case. Will you be able to pay that over a period of time in installments?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you can't pay it, just let the court know. You understand?
Yes.
All right, and then I have the MIC evaluation. Have everybody seen the mental health evaluation on this case?
I have, Your Honor.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. Any input from either side?
No, Your
No.
Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Sanchez, it is saying here that you do need to be placed on the mental health caseload. Probation, based upon the nature of the offense, will mental health still accept him on their caseload?
We have employees on the SOMA unit that will assist him with his.
All right. So what I'll do then is I'll say the mental health sex offender unit. There's going to be 4 years deferred adjudication. Chapter 62 compliance. No contact with the complainant in the case. There should be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular UAs. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a health care provider or with minors. There's a request for community service hours, but because of the nature of the offense, there's no community service hours available for you because no one has insurance to do that. You understand? There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Probation, is there anything else?
There are, the sex offender unit will take care of the field test, as a field visit.
Yes.
There's nothing else.
All right. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? If there's something else you need, now's the time to let me know.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I think so.
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank the court.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Thank you. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. You understand? All right, you all have victim impact?
Yeah, it's on the Zoom.
All right, and is it the Garcia?
Yes.
Okay. And I'll stop video. All right, Ms. Garcia? No. The video is just not shown. All right, Ms. Garcia, if you can unmute, please. All right, Ms. Garcia, Mr. Sanchez is here.
Okay,
And you may proceed with your victim impact.
okay, it's going to be my daughter, Sadie.
All right.
Go ahead. I'm holding. Okay. Zach, I don't know what to say. I could tell you that you ruined my life and how messed up I am. Or I could tell you I forgive you for what you did. I don't know how to feel. I'm angry. I'm angry because I didn't deserve what you did. You were supposed to be there to protect me. You were my family. Family doesn't do that. I needed you most when I was there. I thought I was safe, but I was wrong. Since that day, I've never been the same. I don't go out or wear shorts like I used to. I can't sleep and still have nightmares because of what you did. I can't stand when people touch me anymore, and I can't even let my 9-year-old brother touch me. You turned me into a person I never wanted to be. You turned me into someone who doesn't go to places, into someone who can't be alone in a crowd, into someone who can't stop shaking and who takes pills to be happy. I wish you could explain to me why you did what you did. You took my family away from me. My aunt doesn't want to look at me anymore, and my cousins don't believe or trust and can talk to me anymore. I kept it a secret for so long because I knew what my family would do. I understand that you are family, and I love you. I would never make something up like this. Why would I make something up like this? I knew as soon as I opened my mouth that my family would be gone and I would never be the same. You took everything from me, and yet I still forgive you. I forgive you for me to move on in life. I love you.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in.
This is the case of Zachary Sanchez, a serious sex offence heard in open court. The judge's tone is firm. There is no sympathy here, only conditions. Mental health, sex offender supervision, no contact with the complainant, no contact with minors, strict compliance with every rule. The judge makes it clear this is not a suggestion. This is a final warning. Any violation, and prison is the next step.
In 2021 CR 2955, State of Texas versus Victor Alvarez Jr. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Zach Dunn for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
John Robertson for Mr. Alvarez.
And are you Victor Alvarez?
Ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Victor Alvarez Jr. who was placed on community supervision in 2021 CR 2955 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on July 15th, 2021 for a term of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Your Honor, violated condition number 2, on or about the 12th day of December 2023 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Victor Alvarez Jr., did then and there admit illegally using a controlled substance, namely heroin, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State.
Your Honor, the state waives and abandons the other.
Any
conditions.
objections?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 4 years in the prison and up to $1,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2? Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is a proposed agreement, Your Honor, yes.
What are you all requesting?
Your Honor, the Victor was in drug court and had some challenges in drug court and was ultimately discharged in December of 23. The probation department is recommending safety. He had previously been evaluated for SATF and DDRF, but was declined due to his physical condition. He has 2 prosthetic legs. From talking to Victor over the last couple of weeks, I know Victor, he admits he has a drug problem and he wants to continue to work on that. Victor would like to be considered for being put back into the drug court program and continuing to work with them. And I know he'd like to address the court about that.
All right, you'd like to address the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for a record.
Victor Alvarez Jr.
All right, what would you like to say?
I want to say that I messed up. I let my anger getting away, and I've been working a lot, real hard with drug court, trying to focus on my recovery. And before I went to jail, I talked to my my counselor at Alpha, and I told her about getting into anger management classes and continuing with treatment there too. And I really want the opportunity to finish drug court, and I finally got the chance to get new prosthetics, and I'm in the process of getting new prosthetics before I came in here. If you give me a chance, I promise you that I will complete drug court, and if I mess up, you can sentencing me to whatever amount is right.
All right. Probation, what is your recommendation?
Probation is to extend probation for a year and a half, and it's complete the safety followed by after.
All right, this is what the court will do. The court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to extend for 2 years, a referral to felony drug court. If felony drug court does not accept him back, then he's going to safety. Is there anything else?
No.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
You know, do I have to go? Can you put me in anger management classes, or do they do that?
Oh, yeah, I'll add anger management classes. Thank you.
Thank you.
And also anger management classes. Thanks for letting us know that that's an issue, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If you need anything and you feel like it's not being addressed by your probation officer, you can always come back to court. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Felony drug court is a good.
Victor Alvarez Jr. stands before the court for a drug violation. This is not just a ruling. This is a warning. The judge speaks bluntly. Drug court cannot help you if you are not trying. Then comes the line that silences the room. Do not become the person found on the side of the road or in a field. The message is clear. Change your path, or prison will choose it for you.
You have to plan for traffic.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I late for court? No.
Also, I was
And-
trying to have I was walking my elderly father. He doesn't walk that fast as well.
You need to plan for that, because let me explain something to you. Am I late for court? No. And all the defense attorneys will tell me, oh, Judge, why are you rushing? You can be late for court. But I don't ask people to do things that I myself are not prepared to do. Your attorney doesn't have to be on time, because guess what? If he's not on time, normally nobody's going to hold him in contempt or put him in jail. But if you're late, guess what?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what's happening with Mr. Ashbaugh's case? We were here last time for discovery. Where are we on discovery?
Your Honor, I believe we have taken care of all the discovery issues in this case. I've been conferring with opposing counsel since the last court setting. They have provided me with a copy of the phone extraction, and we have made arrangements for me to review the TJJB file.
All right, and are you prepared to make an offer, or was an offer tendered?
No, ma'am, there hasn't been an offer yet. We would appreciate a reset so we could make an offer to the defense judge.
All right, I'm going to recall you all for March 18th. I'm sorry, not March 18th. Yes, March 18th. And on March 18th, state you need to be prepared to make an offer.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused. Make sure you're on time next time. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Judge.
Oh, you're welcome.
This moment isn't about a crime, it's about discipline. Tyler Ashba arrives late to court and the judge is not amused. She responds sharply, "Am I late for court? No." Then she makes it clear who sets the standard. I do not ask people to do what I am not prepared to do myself. In this courtroom, excuses don't matter. Respect for the court does.
Sometimes punishment, and all attorneys will tell you, when we're in law school, they tell you about the purposes of sentencing. Sometimes the purpose of sentence is for rehabilitation. Sometimes it's just punishment. Sometimes it's protecting the community. There are a whole host of reasons. But your problem is sometimes when you've done something that is considered so horrendous, right? No matter the changes you've made, sometimes it's just a prison offense. There are a lot of people who do things that I'm sure if they could go back in time, they would have changed it. They would have said, I wouldn't have done it. But the boxing of someone in with your vehicle, and I read the PSI report and I read the stipulations. In the stipulations, the driver of the vehicle said, hey, my son is in the car. And that didn't give anybody pause. I would think that there are certain things that should give people pause. For example, if somebody holds somebody at gunpoint and they want to steal their vehicle, they would say, oh my gosh, shucks, I didn't know there was a child in this car. Let me pause. But they gave nobody pause. Everybody just still continued with what they were going to do. That's a problem for the court. So this is what the
Judge,
court.
isn't the problem that she was, no matter what her role was, it was still going to be something that was horrendous because it's a robbery.
Yeah.
So and I'm not trying to argue with the court, but under that circumstance, then no one should be eligible for deferred adjudication.
Well, counsel, as you're aware, there are different types of robbery. And there are some robberies that don't involve a child. State?
Your Honor, so right through, one thing I did notice in the letter for the psychiatrist, something that is bothering me, I knew I'd seen it somewhere in here, is that Ms. Johnson, she said she gave them a ride but did not know their intentions, but she played a role in boxing them in. She says that she had never had or handled a gun that night. When the police lit up her car, the boys threatened her if she didn't keep going. One of the boys threatened to shoot her if she stopped. Nowhere is that brought up in the report that she had mentioned that she had said that they had threatened her. So that's just something that is.
Well, I don't think it's her feeling. So it's not going to be in a police report.
Right,
but I can tell you that was her feeling on this. She did feel threatened by these two young juvenile offenders. But we're here today to take responsibility and not make excuses. So that's our answer to that, Judge.
All right. Is there anything else before the court makes its ruling?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to find you guilty, taking consideration 2023 CR 3850, 2023 CR 3849, grand jury number 806632. There's to be restitution of $110 to John Bright in grand jury number 806632. Give you credit for any time served. I'm going to retain jurisdiction. Your attorney will tell you what that means, and I'm going to sentence you to 6 years in the prison. Did you review what it's entitled trial court certification with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. And Mr. Hancock, you can explain to her what that means.
I will, Judge.
This is the heaviest moment of the hearing. Michaela Elise Johnson, charged with robbery. The defense speaks of youth, remorse, and future plans. But the judge focuses on one thing: the crime. A mother was targeted. A child was in the car. And no one stopped. The judge delivers the final decision: 6 years in prison.
And I understand because of mental issues, he can't charge it. So, does anybody think he's going to be successful? That's my question.
I think I'd like to give him a shot, Judge. I understand it's.
I mean, he's not gonna survive in prison, Judge.
Well, sometimes prison is prison. It's not a happy place. But at some point, there is nothing else I can do. Somebody write your legislator, write your congressman and tell them we need placements for people who maybe are low functioning, people who have mental health issues, because otherwise all I'm doing is rubber stamping, saying, oh, let's try this. Let's try this. I'm going to try it. But Mr. Lemire, this is the last stop. There's nothing else for me to try with you. I don't think state ISF is going to work because respite care is more intensive than state ISF, but this is what everybody is telling me they think will work. I hope it will work.
You're gonna walk a straight line, Your Honor.
No, well, Mr. Lemire, I understand you're telling me that, but that's what you told me last time.
So last time they said they doubted that I would be able to do the AA sober support, and I've been doing better at that and sending it every day. They doubted that I would be able to do that, and I did it.
All right. I understand the issues and the limitations that we have here in Bear County and elsewhere. I'm going to deny the motion, extend you for 1 year. Alternate amending conditions, we can do a referral to DDRF and also state ISF.
Your Honor, I need one.
Which one do you think is best probation, DDRF or state ISF?
DDRF,
All right.
I think it's better.
All right. So we're going to alternate amend conditions to include DDRF. And hopefully they can address the issues that you have. You understand?
Sure.
All right. Do you have any questions about anything?
Does that mean I would be getting off probation in May of 2026?
Whatever the extension is for the year, that will be 2026.
So I had contacted my probation officer and I called her and twice, 2 or 3 times and she didn't answer. And I had left her voicemail like 2 weeks before the incident occurred, trying to tell her I was having a medication issue and she never called me back or answered her phone. I wondered if maybe I could get a different probation officer.
All right. So let's do this first. I'm going to make a notation of that in your file. And I have made a notation of that. We're going to see about placing you at DDRF. And hopefully they will make sure that you have the right medications because I'm not a medical doctor. I can't put you on specific medications. And if there's an issue with DDRF, just let us know, okay?
All right.
Gilbert Puit appears before the court asking for another chance. He speaks of rehabilitation, programs, and change, but the judge responds with one decisive truth. Your history is not good. This is not a first offense. This is a pattern. The ruling is final, 5 years in prison. In court, your record speaks louder than your words.
Asking so much of you, and probation is asking so much of you, tells me you've done nothing. So I'm going to give you a choice because I don't know if you're going to be successful or not, but it appears that you have done nothing. And I'm looking at the docket sheet. And at the docket sheet, at first, this was supposed to be a pretrial diversion. And all you had to do was pay $547 for that to be done. And then we've had a motion that has been filed before and that has been withdrawn. And now we're back here. So here's your choice. I can extend you for 2 years. I'm not going to extend you for 18 months. I'll extend you for 2 years. Or either I'll sentence you to the state jail facility for 18 months. You'll complete it. You'll be done. You can do what you want to do with your life. Otherwise, I'm going to continue you and I'm going to follow these recommendations.
And my choices, what was the previous?
18 months in the state jail facility, or either you're going to be extended for 2 years. There'll be a referral to felony drug court. You're going to remain in custody till felony drug court accepts you. If felony drug court does not accept you, you're going to safety. So which would you prefer?
The second, the 2 years instead of the 18 months.
Okay. All right, the court will deny the motion, alternate amend conditions to include a 2-year extension, a referral to felony drug court. If not accepted, then safety. And this is all to be done in custody. Parenting classes. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. There is to be partial GPS for employment only. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. The UA hotline until further notice. And field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. And then at probation's discretion. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
Your Honor, if I could just provide the court with a little bit of information with regard to the parenting class
Yes.
that's been added as a condition. Ms. Rosano has a 2-year-old grandchild in the house where she lives. She has a 24-year-old son who suffered from significant mental health issues last year, which is how Ms. Rosano ended up caring for his child. He has gotten the mental health assistance that he needs. He's on medications and he's actually gainfully employed and living outside of Ms. Rosano's home. However, the grandchild still does reside with her and she is charged with taking care of him. This is something that she volunteered to do as a grandparent. It was her responsibility in her heart to do that. The unsupervised visitation that the court just imposed as a condition of that probation. In light of those circumstances, I was wondering if you'd reconsider the unsupervised visits that you impose. It has nothing to do with any dangerous conditions in her home that she has created. I do understand she has a positive or an admission to using methamphetamine in 2022. However, that was prior to her having a grandchild. And so I don't know if the court would reconsider unsupervised
Well, let me
visitation.
ask this. Has she been reporting? I know that's an allegation in the motion, but there was no plea of that. So has she been reporting?
Correct. That was, she has not been reporting, which is why we suggested a GPS for 90 days to get her back on.
Has she
track.
done any, since she hasn't been reporting, that means that she hasn't done any UAs. Am I right in assuming that?
I believe that would be a safe assumption.
All right. So I don't know if she's using meth or not, but I do know if you're using meth, you shouldn't be babysitting anybody's grandchild,
True, I agree.
right?
And-
All right. So that's where we are. There's to be no unsupervised contact. And I don't know if Child Protective Services are involved or not. They probably should be. If the option is your son has mental health issues, so he should not be alone with the 2-year-old, and then you're using meth. That's not a good combination for either parent for a child if your son is not on his medications.
My son, he's taking Zoloft. He's been taking Zoloft for almost half a year now.
All right. So then that's where we are.
Yes, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. If you need anything, you feel as
Christopher Lemire stands before the judge, and patience has run out. The judge issues a warning unlike any other. This is the last thing I can try. An extension is granted, but the message is unmistakable. There will be no more chances after this. The next failure will not end in court. It will end in prison.
Dirty job, but.
somebody has to do it. Yeah.
You know, so I'm looking into that, you know, and it can be done, you know. I know I can do it.
And in fact, your sister is here in the courtroom just before you, right?
Oh, yes, sir. She's in the back with my mother and here.
So to reiterate, please tell the judge why you will be successful in probation.
Well, because I have obviously my family that loves me, you know, and they're tired of this evolving door, you know, and it's heartbreaking, like me as the elder, you know, and I'm the only son that I've been going through all this turmoil, but I'm glad that I realize it now and catch it, you know, and then with their support, you know, to help me do that much better. And sometimes it's good to have that kind of discipline from your loved ones. I never used to like, yeah, whatever, you know, back talk my mother and all that, but all along, as I realized, all she was doing was just direct me in the right way, you know.
Okay, pass the witness.
State.
Good morning, Mr. Pruitt. My name is Hank Wilkins. I'm one of the prosecutors here.
Yes, sir.
If I ask anything that you don't understand, just let me know and I'll rephrase it, okay? In 2001, did you, were you placed on probation for aggravated assault against a public servant?
Yes, sir.
Okay, were you successful?
I wasn't successful on that because, you know, I was young and I was my young 20s. I believe.
Do you know how long you were on probation before you went into the prison?
No, sir, I don't remember.
But would it be surprising that it was less than a year, less than 6 months? that be surprising to you?
Oh, no.
And it might help Diana if we can. Okay, and so in 2009, did you go to prison for felon in possession of a firearm?
Oh, I sure did, sir.
And let's see, and that was also for possession of a controlled substance, right? And then you did state jail in 2015 for fraudulent use and possession, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you tell the court, why is this time going to be different? You've had this opportunity on probation before, but that didn't work for you. So why do you think this time's going to be different?
Well, this time it will be different because I'm of age now, and I'm not in the streets as like I used to be. That's where I was at. That's where I caught home, and my mother didn't raise me in the streets, but I never had that father figure in my life to I had to figure it out myself. And now that I'm of age, I'm 42, I'm only getting older, and I see a lot of old people just keep coming back and back, and I don't want to be one of those. I have to break this cycle. And so in order to break this cycle, I have to just do what's right. And if I do everything right with help, everything will come out right.
So you got arrested for this offense in March of 2023, right?
Yes, sir.
And stole a car, right?
I didn't steal.
Okay, but was it your car that you were driving?
No.
And when the police tried to pull you over, did you pull over right away?
Yes, sir.
And then once you got out of the car, you got out of the car and ran from them, right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And how old were you when that happened?
It was last year.
Last year, okay. And so did you go over this tap evaluation with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. On page 7 here, this paragraph, I guess to me, it sounds like you're not really taking responsibility for your actions. Or you feel like you're taking responsibility for your actions?
I have to take responsibility for my actions.
Okay. No more questions, Your Honor.
All right, any further questions?
No further questions.
Any further witnesses?
No further witnesses. Just talking.
All right. So, Mr. Pruitt,
Sorry.
what I can tell you is I read the PSI report and I understand what you're saying, and I've internalized what you're saying. And I know that people get to a point in their life where they're just tired, right? Tired of going to prison, tired of this lifestyle. But the problem is you're habitual. Your criminal history is not good. And, because of that and because of other things that I've heard and that I've looked at in the stipulations in the PSI, I'm not going to grant your application. So I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to ask that you be placed in the therapeutic community, the mental health community at the prison. I'm going to sentence you to 5 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. I'm going to take in consideration 2023 CR 9387. All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, so we can go off the record. Here's the thing. I understand that there are issues in everybody's life. Nobody has a perfect life. Everybody has some trauma in their life. But when you go forth in the world, you got to go forth and try to do the best that you can in life and try not to inflict trauma on other people. And sometimes that trauma is stealing somebody's property, right? When you take somebody's car, that's trauma on them, because guess what? They paid for that car. They probably struggled to pay the note, struggled to pay the insurance. And 9 times out of 10, when you finish playing off a vehicle, that's when you start having problems with it, but they work hard for that. That day when you were driving, the Eagle helicopters coming out and you're racing, trying to avoid the police, guess what? Everybody that you passed probably had to clutch their heart because, oh my gosh, I almost got hit, right? That's trauma for them. The garbage truck that you ended up parking in between to Brian, the garbage people who are working, they just trying to get their day in, pick up the garbage and go on their day. They probably had trauma from that. And then when you hopped out of the passenger vehicle and took off running, I'm sure there were other people probably with their children just enjoying their day. Oh my gosh, something's going on. So everybody experiences trauma in their life. It's just the way that you handle it. And I know that my sending you to prison, that's trauma for you, right? Because you want to be with your family. But you're going to have to go to prison, continue what you did at the jail. At the prison, you can actually get a college degree. And guess what? It's free. And I will tell you, all the attorneys here, unless they got a full scholarship, their degree was not free. And some of them are still paying on their loans. And guess how much those loans are? The equivalent of a mortgage. So there are good things for you to look forward to. So when you go to the prison and come out, remember this and remember that you are a habitual. So usually, depending on the offense, your minimum is 25 years in prison. All right. Good luck to you, okay?